Now, something that's very important for us creative makers here in Blender is precision movement and snapping. So let's talk about that for a moment. So I'm going to select my cube here. I want another cube to play around with snapping. I want to show you a new operation, which is Shift D for duplicate. And that has already duplicated it. And now we're going to move. We're in a move operation. Let's left click to say where we want that to be. Again, all of this is under here. You'll find duplicate objects. Okay, let's do some snapping. How do we go ahead and get started with snapping? Well, I'm going to select this cube right here, and up here, this is the snapping menu. We'll click that drop down. There are lots and lots of ways of snapping in Blender. In fact, it's probably one of the most complicated things inside of Blender is snapping, but I'm going to show you a different way in the next video as well. So from here, let's go for vertex snapping. Now that we have vertex snapping, you'll see that there's a whole bunch of options for vertex snapping here. Now, for the sake of this, let's just go ahead and say that is good. I'm happy with that there. So I'm going to grab this. I want to snap this cube to this cube. Preferably, I would like to snap that back vertex to this vertex here. Now, you can turn on snapping to be constantly on by clicking this button right here. Shift Tab is the shortcut. Or you can press G, activate the movement, hold down Control, and now you are snapping. So we're snapping. You can see wherever my mouse goes, it starts to snap. But I want to snap to that. I want the back vertex to be there. What's going on? Why is it snapping and I can't control that? Let's take a look at what's going on here. In the snapping menu, by the way, the shortcut to open up the snapping menu is Control-Shift-Tab. It's told us snap with closest. Now you can set this to a whole bunch of different ones. You've got medium, active, all the rest of all of this. It's very complicated, but in a nutshell, it's just the limitation of the snapping system. Or if you want the quick and dirty, all we have to do is move this over here so that the closest is there. Press G, hold down Control, and that's it snapped there. Now, let's get a little bit more complicated because we've got this 3D cursor in the space and we've got vertex snapping now on. So let's hold down Shift, hold down right click, and now we're moving our 3D cursor, hold down Control, and now we've got snapping activated. Okay, I'm going to select that back vertex right there, and that's it there. I'm let go my right click. That 3D cursor is perfectly on that vertex. Now, how do we set the origin point to the 3D cursor? That is the context menu. So right click, set origin, origin to 3D cursor. Now, why have I done that? Because I'm going to use my 3D cursor as my snapping tool. So I'm going to go Shift, right click, hold down Control. I'm now snapping to that point over there. And now how do we snap that movement with the 3D cursor? That is Shift S for the snapping menu. And I'm going to go with my selected to my cursor. Now remember, we're in the object space right this minute. So what's controlling here? We are moving the origin point, which is why we've moved that origin point in the first place, and that means it's going to snap down there. Now I know that's a lot of operations, and everything that I've just mentioned here, by the way, applies also in edit mode. So I'll press G, move this off to the side. Let's go into tab, so edit mode. Let's select this face down there. So press 3, select this bottom face, brilliant. Let's press G, and it's moving. Let's constrain this on the Z axis, and then I want to snap it to these bottom vertices here. Hold down Control, and it's going to snap to those bottom vertices. So that there is snapping in a nutshell. Remember that if you're wanting to do precision movement, you can also just press G, Z, and then type in an amount whenever you're constrained. So let's put in 3. Perfect. Now we know that we've moved 3 millimeters upwards. Another way of doing this, by the way, is pressing G. You can snap it down to be completely flat. And now you know that you have a whole bunch of crushed up mesh there. Press G, Z, and then you can go up by, let's say, 1, 2. Actually, let's go for 1.23. Okay, so it's very, very obvious what's going on. And by the way, if you want to see where that number is that I just typed in, take a look at the top left-hand side. It says 1.23. Brilliant. I'll hit enter to confirm that. We'll go out into object mode. Let's take a look here, the dimension 1.23. So that's just letting you know the precision movement and the precision snapping aspects of default Blender. However, there's something else I want to show you in the next video.